on YouTube, you guys are probably here to find out the question of the title of this video. Are XTD clutches worth it? So I wanted to come out here and say something because this is definitely a budget clutch. It's nothing. It's not, you know, ACT action clutch. Shit, you know, all the other top brand names now popped out of my head when I was just thinking about it. But you know what I mean. It's not the, you know, a top name brand clutch. But what I wanted to say is I wanted to unbox this clutch that I bought for my H22. I bought the clutch and the flywheel, lightweight flywheel, and a stage 2 clutch just for this build right now. And I'll get back to that in a minute. But basically, the XTD clutches I have been using since I was, I want to say like 19 or 20 years old. The first time I did use one was on my Mazda MX-6 V6. And that was a fun ass car. And I had done a lot of little bolt-on stuff, and I needed the clutch. And of course I was young, and money was really tight at that time. And honestly, the economy was kind of like it's getting now, so it's almost like looking back into the past. It's weird with the way things are just going. But anyways, so I bought that clutch, and I was like, you know what? It was like $200 or something like that for stage 3, or $150. It wasn't even that expensive. And that was like pressure plate, throw-up bearing, pilot bearing, tool, instructions. I was really a big bang for your buck. You get the discs, everything. And I was blown away by how good it actually was for a cheaper clutch. And guys, I smoked the hell out of those tires. I put that clutch through hell. I was like, well, if it burns out, whatever, I'll put a new clutch in. It's $150, you know, why not? Or I'll just wait till I'm able to get a better clutch down the road, you know? Guys, I couldn't burn that clutch out. It was fucking amazing. And at that time, I worked at Emerald Coast Dragway. You can look that up if it's still open. That was out in around Crestview, Florida. A little bit further out in another town, but anyways, I worked at the drag strip, and there was a guy that had a boosted Del Sol that was pretty badass. It was a little D16, nothing crazy, but it was pretty awesome for an old D16. This guy, we talked and laughed, and he used nothing but XTD clutch too after doing a lot of expensive, you know, named clutches, and he was just like, you know, this thing lasted, if not as long, if not longer, than his better clutches, and it was half the price. And he was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna keep putting in new ones in when I burn them out. And that's what he did, and the clutches held up awesome though. I think he was running like close to 600 horsepower in a little D16 at that time, and that was awesome. So I don't quote me on his exact power, but he was running bigger power at that time, and that was very impressive back then. Still, to me, it's impressive today, you know, because you give the power to weight ratio car. You know, that's like having 800 horsepower, 900 in a bigger car. So to me, that was pretty impressive. So fast forward a little bit, I bought one for my D16 Civic that was all motor. Never had a problem with it for years. I bought one again for another one of my vehicles. I can't remember what I had. It was in a B20. And that lasted quite a while. It was all motor again. And then I bought one for stage 3 clutch for my all-wheel drive, my all-wheel drive CRV. And you guys have seen how hard I've launched. If you pay attention to my social media, I launched that thing. I've done numerous things. I beat the hell out of that clutch, and it has been in there for 4, going on 5 years. And I drive that thing everywhere. I've done hard launches. I've had it lifted. I went off-roading with it. I've never had an issue with that clutch, ever. Totally blown away by the price. I'm not saying they're the best clutch out there, but I'm saying they're a fucking damn good clutch for the price. So if you guys are on a budget, you guys just want to throw a clutch in your race car, burn it out and go, put another one in there later, or something, you know, that doesn't cost you a lot, I suggest these clutches. So basically, what you're gonna get is you're gonna get a little XTD clutch guide in there. They're gonna give you a sticker. Supposed to anyways. They always try to. Now this tells you all the instructions, everything you need. Pretty much if you've done a clutch before, you know what to do. But for new guys, first timers, this is perfect. This helps out a lot. Plus, you can always watch videos and stuff. I'm gonna make a video of installing this clutch on the H22 later. But here's the pressure plate. I mean, as you guys, it used to be bright red. That used to be the colors. Now this came in a maroon red. I'm not sure if they kind of changed to this or not. But this is brand new. They got a little bit of oil on it, a little bit, you know, to keep it from rusting. You got to clean it off a little bit before you put it in. I would suggest not put it on. Now, in my younger days, I have just slapped it on and burned it off and not given a crap. So, it is what it is. But this is actually a really impressive clutch, guy, or pressure plate. It is built very well. I've never had one fail on me. I've never had any teeth bend on me, any problems. Of course, I can't say if you're running, you know, 3, 4, 5, 600 horsepower, you know, how well they're going to do from a personal experience. The only thing I can tell you is what I've met and I've seen. So I guess you could say that's kind of personal experience, but not myself. I didn't drive it myself. But this is, and they're not super firm. I mean, they're firm, but the pedal pressure doesn't feel super firm and terrible. So honestly, I actually love these clutches for just a beater or daily driving or something fun when you're on a tight budget. Now I went with a stage 2 clutch disc because my wife does not know how to drive standard yet, and she wants to learn. So I'm going to teach her on this with some mild bolt-ons and stuff for now until we decide if we're going to keep it, make it the race prelude, or what we're going to do with it. So for now, I'm just going to kind of teach her on this, and it's just a stage 2. But I mean, you can look at the quality of the springs, the clutch. Honestly, guys, these are not a bad clutch for the price. I've never been let down from one. Let's say so far one has not let me down. I'm sure you're gonna hear something from somebody, and you know, every company, I say this all the time, even Spoon and some of the great companies for imports and even domestics, they have 1 or 2 bad apples. It happens. I mean, you're bound to have something screw up or something that was misprinted or built or something when you're making so many over so many years. I mean, nobody has a perfect record. It just doesn't happen. But you're gonna get a new little pilot bearing for your make and model. You're gonna get a pilot tool to align everything, or alignment tool, which really helps, makes it easier. And that should come with every clutch, but it's just nice when you get these cheaper clutches, you expect them to kind of cut corners any way they can, and they really don't with this company. Gonna get a new throwout bearing. I've never had their throwout bearings give me a problem either. And like I said, I'm still running one of their throwout bearings in my all-wheel drive CRV 5-speed, going on almost 5 years. And like I said, I beat the hell out of that thing, from lifted, lowered, all kinds of stuff. So what is new to me, and I will let you guys know, I have never tried one of their flywheels. So I just decided, because this flywheel was pretty old in mine, I was just like, screw it, I'm not going to get it resurfaced. For this deal, I'm just going to buy the flywheel. So I bought a Lighten flywheel. I do not remember the exact weight on it. I will weigh it later and find out the exact weight and let you guys know in the install video. It is pretty light. It's not incredibly light. I've had lighter. But it feels pretty sturdy. It looks pretty good. All the teeth look machined well. All the bolt holes look very good. And I will let you guys know how it matches up. Again, here's a quick look at it. So for the price, I don't think you can beat this clutch company. If there is another ones, let me know in the comments. If you've had XTD, if you had good experience or bad experience, let me know in the comments. Definitely would love to hear from you guys. I am right now, I want to say 4 for 4. So this will be my 5th one. So I'm 4 for 4, doing good for me. And I have not met someone in person. I have a hard time a lot of times, unless people can prove it. I don't really truly believe you. I'm not trying to be a dick, but there's so many people that say this, or bought a used one, or bought from their buddy, or their friend had this, or, you know, Joe Smo did this or some shit. I just have a hard time believing it. I'd rather see somebody who has actually had hands on themselves, bought it brand new, and used it to see what their experience is. So that's where I'll take that more into account when someone has some type of proof, or genuinely you can tell they're telling the truth on this, and see how their experience is. Everyone I have met that has used one, and I've known personally used one, has not had a problem with it. Has said it's one of the best, cheaper clutches out there. But again, I'm not saying it's the best clutch out there, so don't freak out and say, oh, there's so much. But yeah, bigger brands have some better clutches. But honestly, with that guy with the Del Sol, I mean, he was proof right to me after what I saw this guy every weekend run. So he literally stopped buying the expensive clutches and went to them because they lasted just as long, if not just as close, sometimes longer, he said. I think one, he had a spring blowout on him or something, but you know, he had an underpowered clutch, and you know, he admitted the fault of it. He's like, hey, I was running too much power for that clutch, but surprisingly, it still held up for a longer than I thought it would. So that's my take on XTD clutches. Do I think they're worth it? Do I think they're good? Yes, I do. I'm 4 for 4. I'll let you know on this 5th one. I think they're a good clutch as long as you get the right one for your application and your build, and you install it right and you do it right. I don't think they're a bad clutch for the budget. Again, I don't think they're the best clutch in the world. So don't go quoting me and say, oh, CRV Tom said that my clutch should be perfect and fucking last 20 years. No, it all depends on your driving style too. It all depends on what you do with it and what your purpose is for it. But if it's for a daily driver, guys, I don't think you're gonna have a problem with this clutch if you treat it right for years, with whatever style one you go with. I mean, of course, the higher the horsepower you get, the more aggressive clutch you get. They're not built for longevity. They're built for racing. You know what I mean? They're built to give you the best times on the track, the best grip. You know, they're not built for longevity. So also got to keep everything in mind too, and be realistic about your purchases and what you buy. But yeah, XTD clutch, to end this video, I think it's great. I think it's a good deal. Perfect budget clutch for your build on anything. They make a wide range from domestic to import, European. They make a lot of clutches, guys. Don't quote me on everything. I don't know what they still make for. I haven't looked into them in a while as far as like their whole list. But they used to make shit for like every fucking car out there just about. So yeah, check them out. I'll put a link down in the description to them. You can also find, I got this one off eBay. You can find them on eBay, Amazon, things like that. Just search them up. But I'll also try to put a link to their official website if it's still up. I haven't been to that one in a while. So if there is no link, sorry guys. Just search it on eBay or on Amazon. I'm not going to put a link to those because those change all the time. So, but yeah, thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. I'm interested. And if you have an experience with this type of clutch or this brand clutch, all right? Peace, YouTube.